So when you don't know the context, don't comment upon it, please. The students are all understanding. Ask them, उनको WhatsApp करो और आप Facebook में लिख के देखो शर्मिला what it is बोल के. So friends, I am talking about integrative thinking. It is your choice to sign up or not sign up. I am looking at it from a different angle for youngsters. I am looking at a different angle for all of you. That's basically what I am talking about. Okay, so the first chapter was talking about all these things, and finally we came down to, we are coming to second chapter today. In the second chapter, I think I spoke a little about the second chapter, did I? In the first virtual class, did I speak a little about the second chapter? Yes or no? No. How many of you did not attend personal contact program, PCP? The students who attended PCP, all this is discussed. Rishikesh did not come, Asif did not come, Ketan nahi aaya, Vasanti Matre, Deshpande Sarang, Harshit, Sigmund Rosha, Suprakash, Samadhan, Lalit, Kothari Bela. Practically the whole virtual class students, none of them have attended. Okay, fine. Now, the second chapter is giving you a type of a theory or an approach which anybody can follow. The second chapter, No Stomach for Second Best, is the name of the chapter. No stomach for second best. It means what? That I want to go for the best. Now, I want to go for the best. How do I go? By the integrative approach, not by killing others. There are organizations which make lovely products and they make their men work towards quality with a lot of rigorous discipline. So what happens is, internal climate is not one of freedom. Internal climate is one of creativity. It's about control. So what happens is, even if they make fantastic products, अंदर का जो पॉलिसी है जो उनको कंट्रोल करके उनको मार के जो क्वालिटी प्रोडक्ट निकलता है वो का माहौल अच्छा नहीं है. That is not the thing I'm talking about. No stomach for second best is coming from a different thinking. The thinking is, we'll keep on improving ourselves with a lot of creativity and freedom among employees. We'll allow them to take risks. They'll make mistakes. We'll correct them. We'll train them. We'll keep the whole atmosphere open. This is what we are talking about in No Stomach for Second, the second chapter. It's an integrative approach through which we go through what is called as a integrative thinking and action. Now this particular topic, this particular chapter has got a page which I wanted to go and refer to. In my book, it is page number 42. It is process of thinking and deciding 2.2. There's a diagram. All of you have got it. There's a diagram 2.2, the process of thinking and deciding. Page number 33, as it says. In my book, it is 22. Now, this diagram is the theory part of integrative thinking. What do you mean by theory? We discussed 4 people in chapter number 1 who have done integrative thinking in action during crisis. Does it mean that only 4 people can do it? Are you born with integrative thinking? Is it a jagir of only certain people? The answer is no. The purpose of writing a textbook is to tell you that if they could do it, any one of you can do it. Now, how to do it? We need a certain path. That is where the theory comes. So this particular diagram is giving you 4 steps of integrative thinking, of decision making, which when we follow in a certain manner, it will make you an integrative thinker and action person. This is giving you 4 steps of decision making, which if you follow in a certain manner, you will become an integrative thinker. So it goes, there are 4 blocks. It starts from the bottom, salience, second is causality, third is architecture, and the 4th one is resolution. SCAR, easy to remember. Salience, causality, architecture, and resolution. These are the 4 steps in which we take decisions. Am I clear to all of you? Now, what's the next thing that happens? We discuss them one by one. First one is salience. Salience means what do I give importance to? What do I give importance to? That is salience. Okay. For example, I am giving importance to the students attending PCP and VC. But students are not giving importance and they give excuses. That is my thinking. I'm not right, I'm not wrong. This is the way I think. So I drive you crazy, I drive you mad. I said, "Aao attend karo," and many of you did not come. वो salience है. I give importance to that. Since I give importance to that, I step on to what is called as causality. All my thinking, all my actions, all my bully, everything will be based on my salience that students must attend, not only VC but also PCP. So all my talking, everything will be based on the causality that's called as cause effect. उसमें से causality है, the cause effect. Because I have value for this, my thinking, my action, my entire plans will be based on that thinking. And then what I'll do is I'll plan my day. I'll plan. Architecture means creating the whole thing into a structure. I'll structure my discussions. I'll talk to you all. I'll do everything with you all based on that paradigm, that thinking process. Am I not doing this right now? Am I not doing that? In most cases, not always. Then comes resolution. What is the outcome of this? Resolution is after you create that architecture, after you create the framework, after you create a structure, you take action. And the action leads you to certain results. The action plus results, the outcome of all that is resolution. Okay? So I'll repeat, salience is what I give importance. Causality is what ensues in my thinking because I give it importance. Architecture is what I create as a result of the thinking, as a plan to be executed. And finally comes the resolution, which is post-planning, post-action, and the results. Am I coming out clear to all of you? You want me to repeat again? Repeat, shall I repeat? Clear to you? Yes, sir means repeat or not repeat? You want me to repeat? Are you listening, Vasanti? Kitna sa experience hai tumko? I ask this because some young people, they don't listen properly. Even if I tell slowly. And while I am talking to you, this is the reason I told you, PCP में आता तो लिखता था, PCP में students wrote it down. तुम लोग इधर सुनता भी नहीं, लिखता भी नहीं, मुझे trouble करना पड़ता है. Anyway, I'll repeat. Salience is what you give importance. Have you writing it down? Are you writing it down, all of you? लिखो, लिखो, लिखो. Salience is what you give importance. You want me to tell you all this thing to do? Can you not do it before all this nautanki? Salience is what I give importance. Causality is what comes as a result of what I give importance. Causality is what comes as a result of what I give importance. My thinking, my opinions, my direction of talking and attitudes, etc. That's causality. Now, as a result of causality, I create a framework or a structure or a plan of action. Then I act upon it. The action, the results, and whatever happens is the architecture, is a resolution. The action, the results, and whatever happens after that, feedback जो मिलता है वो resolution है. Outcome. Is this clear to all of you now? Vasanti, do you have a cam? No cam. VC में cam क्यों invest नहीं करते तुम लोग? Who has a cam? I want a student to come on the cam, on the channel. I want to discuss with the student about his or her issue which can be integrated. I'll show the path of integration. Who would like to come? Anybody? Rishikesh, come along. 1 second, I'll tell my colleague to. Rishikesh, in the meanwhile, okay, I think when you come on channel, we'll talk. Rishikesh, Shishupal Rishikesh. Hi Rishi, how are you? Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you? I'm good.
Excellent. Rishi, bolo. What I wanted to discuss is something which you're doing today, in which you get stuck up. You're doing your best of efforts. You're getting stuck up. Something which you're doing. वो एक केस को लेके I'll discuss the SCAR.
Okay. I'll give you, sir, some live example.
Okay.
Like, as I told you that I'm working as a technical manager, and the factory changes, modify existing products based on my response.
Okay.
And my field feedback. So what happened recently, my boss is changed, and he is from the marketing background. And he is now, since nobody is there for taking my responsibility, monitor my activities, he is, designated as my boss, like operating manager.
Okay.
And he is at the level of director. But unfortunately, what is happening is he is not able to understand what I am trying to say as far as technicality is concerned. And his approach is to, suppress the issue than, understanding this issue and, making a corrective actions, informing factory. And I think he is, worked in a Japanese company called Daikin. Their working culture is totally different, maybe. And we are in US based company where the culture is very much open. So I'm finding that I am working for remanufacturing.
Remanufacturing, okay, fine.
Yeah. So, there is a conflict between our understanding first, and then, there's conflicts in our actions and outcomes. And always we are, getting help of our GM, who is his boss basically. And I was reporting to him before. So it is like, very tense situation, but I think I know what I'm doing. So maybe over the period of time, you will get convinced.
Okay. We've all heard Rishi now, right now. So Rishi is like this, you are here, there's a person who's come above you, who's coming from a marketing background, and he's designated as a director, right? Now you said that he's also, you actually, whenever there's a clash of ideas between you and him, you involve the GM, and he's reporting to the GM, is it so?
Yes, sir.
The designation is a little odd. GM ka designation नीचे रहता director का.
Yes, sir. Here actually, like we have department here basically. In our Indian organization, we have HODs. Like he is the HOD basically, my boss, who is director.
Okay.
And GM is actually GM, who is the responsible for entire operation.
So when you say director in an IT company, we have what is called the PD, project director. That's like a overall head of one particular project, number of projects.
Correct.
Understood? Yeah. Okay, fine. Now, see Rishi, it's like this. Salience, what are you giving importance? Now I'm focusing on you. Don't take it personally. I'm focusing on you. You have to make things work, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? Now he comes from a marketing background according to you. So you feel that he doesn't understand production, operations, inputs which you're giving him.
Yes, sir.
Can I say that safely? More
yes, sir, definitely. Yes.
So, and he's coming from a Daikin and he gets that culture and he's talking in those terms.
Okay.
Right? Yes. Now, you are giving importance, salience to what you think is correct. Nothing wrong about it. Nothing wrong about it.
I'm giving importance to the customer feedback. And, I believe that, we should support the customer rather than the personal interactions. Yeah.
Agreed. Now, when you say you're supporting the customer, there are certain things you're taking into account, right? You're taking certain things into account, which is what you're doing. That is your salience. Since you're giving importance to certain, customers, your causality, everything, anything which you're thinking, it is in the direction of customer satisfaction.
Correct, sir.
As a result of that, your architecture, third step, you create plans, programs, processes, etc. to reach the customer. And then you go along and implement it and you're getting an outcome out of it. right? Now in this, what is his role? Where has he to come with you?
Basically, like in our 4 steps, doing the architecture, like, preparing the plan of action with, internal team and factory, where actually he is coming in picture, because I have to formally take his before reporting to the factory. But I think he has an understanding that if we report something to the factory and if they come back with some response which is more on field related, then he may be in the wrong position. But I don't trust that, because it is always about learning things.
Now, Rishi, I want to ask you before I give you a pathway. All of you are listening to this issue, this particular thing which Rishi is talking. It is a real case, a real stuff, right? It's a real corporate industrial example which he's talking about, which Rishi is going through, right? Now, see, it's like this. What you are giving importance to, you are creating the causality, architecture, and the resolution. Now, if you want to work with him, and he is also an important part of your decision making, then let us try to understand what is his salience, his causality, his architecture, and his resolution. I'm just giving you some pathway, Rishi. Okay? So what you can do, according to me, is pause for a moment, remove this bias. I'm using bias, don't take it negatively. Remove this bias. This guy is not good. This happens to people, experts in the field. I'm a trainer. So कभी-कभी मुझे लगता है कि बाकी लोगों को मालूम नहीं है. And that actually is right in most cases. I'm not saying it is wrong. Lekin sometimes what happens, we have to work with these jokers. Yes, sir. I'm calling them jokers in inverted commas. Okay?
Yes, sir,
वो मेरा बोली है, वो joker नहीं बेचा. Now what happens is, this guy comes, you know the subject, you are an expert in that. I'm not, from what you're telling me, I can understand. But unfortunately, fortunately, the organization, this guy is a part of your team work. You and he have to work together. So when two people come together, it is important for us to understand that the salience of A and the salience of B has to meet. And integrative thinking is going to help you out. I can assure you this. So all you need to do, we are having an example which I'll explain now.
Okay.
So if you are able to sit and listen to him, understand his fears and what he's giving importance to. See, there are two things, Rishi. You have fears and you have some strength and understanding that ye hoga, right? He also has certain fears and understanding based on his background and experience. Now, if you understand that part of it, that's the first step. Then you can say that because of that salience which he gives, uska causality wo direction mein hai.
Yes.
And because his causality is in that direction, Rishi, what happens is he creates his own architecture. Abhi idhar chota sa problem hai. You are reporting to him, so he is your boss. Power play aa jata hai. It's not a team working.
Exactly.
I can see that. So because of that, you know what happens? His architecture is trying to crush your architecture.
Exactly.
And then what happens is, somehow, since both of you are looking at the company's prospects, both of you work in the same direction of the company, but you are going apart. It is like saying operation successful, patient dead.
Yes, sir.
So kya hota hai? Your resolution is coming, his resolution is also coming, but both are skew. They are not meeting each other. Now this is a problem you probably have to see. Now, does he also think the same about you?
No, he is saying my feedbacks are like he appreciates me always, like
Okay.
my immediate boss.
He's an open person.
He looks like, but when it comes to when the boss comes or when we have to do actual plan of action, then his thinking is just to suppress the issue and show that because of him everything is getting resolved immediately.
Okay.
I think that is not the right approach. So that approach is.
So in your company, you do not have a team working in an open culture. The boss tries to assert himself. Certain companies are hierarchical. In certain companies, there's nothing doing. Bosses ultimately they have say, "ऐसा है क्या आपका company or you all are working teams?"
Actually, it is not the case. ये company काफी open था, but now we are growing. So these hierarchies are coming in picture. Like before 6 months back, I was reporting to my GM, and he is a European.
Okay.
So he used to understand what I'm saying. But now with his intervention, the new persons,
ये Indian है क्या?
Indian है.
Indian problems है. Indians are the most horrible creatures on earth.
Yes, sir.
और वो उसका regional bias लाएगा. So many things will happen. Anyway, leave that.
Yeah.
See, Rishi, you have to have a heart-to-heart dialogue with him in an informal space.
Correct.
Like you can go for a...
Sir, that is already started, so I thought just discuss this because I need
Good, very good. So you want to say, have you progressed in this? Then you can say that. I thought you have already finished talking about the issue.
No, actually it is ongoing now because I think our approaches are different. So I never, consider that, he is my boss or whatever. But we are working together, but I think we are not on the same lines. So
now, to be on the same line, use his integrative approach. Yes. Map his salience, map his functionality, map his architecture, and you see the results of the resolution. Okay. Now, when you do that, then both of you will come together. You will be coming out of what is called as a single working hypothesis, wherein you think that this is my approach is the best approach, it is a good approach with multiple working hypotheses, wherein you'll be taking your approach and his approach and combining them together. This cannot happen unless people are having a rapport with each other, unless you're communicative and trusting each other. That team feeling should come. At the same time, Rishi, keep telling him, sir, you're my boss. You're my boss. Indians out ego massaging. Indian bosses ना उन लोगों को बहुत अच्छा लगता है. उसको बोलने तेरा अच्छा है, तेरा मुस्कुरा अच्छा है, तेरा कास्ट अच्छा है, तेरा दिमाग अच्छा है, तू अच्छा है. इसको बोलेगा ना. Indians love praise, unfortunately. Whereas if you try to do that with, I'm sure if you done, I'm sure the European boss would have never wanted all these things. Am I correct?
Yes. Yes.
I've also worked with a lot of foreign people.
Correct.
है ना? And we people are having some sort of a complex, my boss है तो मेरे को नीचे वाला मेरे को सलाम करने का, नमस्कार करने का, ये सब है.
And
it may be.
He is also, so you understand, my background, where I have studied and then where I have worked. So he knows my strength, but I don't know. Maybe it's ego.
It's a matter of time. When did he take over? Rishikesh, when did he take over? He took over recently? How many months back?
6 months back.
Chalega, it's too early. 6 months he has taken back, and you are also having a senior position. It's a matter of time. Both of you keep into each other all the time. At the end of it, he is your boss. उसको झेलना ही पड़ेगा तुमको. Both have to jailify each other.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So use and understand उसका salience क्या है.
Exactly.
You're getting my picture? And then you see what works. Any other things you want to share with us? Thanks for coming on the camera. Rishi, you're very, very, very open. I like the way you're talking. I wish more students came on the camera and really participated. It's a lovely example you've taken up. You want to say something?
Nothing, sir. Actually, to be very honest, since our last lecture, which was 2 weeks back, I'm trying to have this kind of with this example, the integrative thinking. But I'm planning, I'm getting help a lot in my personal life, to be very honest.
Superb.
Yeah.
Superb.
So
very good.
The subject is really helping.
So you and your wife, for example, both will be having different silences about home, about many things. Am I right?
Yes.
So वो उधर integrate कर सकते हैं. She'll say, Saturday, Sunday, we want to go for shopping. You may want to stay back home on Saturday, Sunday. You may want to stay back home on Saturday, Sunday because whole week you've worked. ये बहुत घरों में होता है. दोनों को integrate कर सकते हैं after learning this.
Actually, sir, the good thing I learned is, how to utilize the time, like, with the integrative thinking. Like, after dinner, we were wasting time we were using the time, but up to 11 o'clock, we were not doing something. We were just starting at home. So we started, have a walk and then, have a 1 hour walk and then do a shopping, like Baji and all, after that, because we have shopping centers.
Lovely. अच्छा husband है तो Rishikesh.
What is it?
you're a good husband. अभी उनको मिसेस मधुकर को बोलना पड़ेगा. If you're sitting at home,
Yes,
tell her that Professor Iyer has said that. Okay,
I'll
good, very good.
definitely tell her.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice, nice. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So
Yeah.
thanks, Rishikesh, for being online, and it's good.
Yeah.
I'll see if somebody else is coming. Thank you very much.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So all of us heard him. Okay. Rubal Grewal is writing some, I think it's an advice Rubal is giving. Rubal, you're a lady. This thing is very important. Remove the negative and consider him in all important decisions. Slowly you will start understanding your point of view. Rubal, what you're talking about is something which people do. I am talking about a certain approach called integrative thinking. I don't know, I've not seen you interacting much. Are you coming regularly on the virtual class, Rubal? Here I'm talking about this approach called integrative thinking, not what you're giving. This is common. People will say, "Ki Baba, ye karo, wo karo." No, you're in a Jakarta project, whatever. Have you been attending the virtual class? That's my question. Do you know what discussion is going on? Have you come for the first VC virtual class? See, don't confuse this with semester 2. This is your first lecture. Yes, fine. So please listen to what is this all about. This is not just another lecture where we are talking about problem solving and decision making. No, this is an approach called integrative thinking, wherein there are certain steps we are discussing right now. That's why I've called him online. If you want, you can also come on Rubal. If you have a camp, just come online and we can discuss. Okay? So friends, I'll give a very simple example for all of you to follow. I gave this in the classroom also. You are staying in Bombay, I want to go to Pune. To go to Pune, let us assume for the time, let me take Asif. Asif is saying that I'll go to Pune only by my car. उसका सेंस क्या है? मेरा कार से मैं जाएगा. And so what happens is, will he think about train? Will he think about the bus? He won't. So his entire thinking will be in the direction of only my car, not even friend's car. So what he'll do is, अपना कार को प्यार से उसको cleaning करेगा. He will fill up the petrol properly. Wiper सब clear करेगा. Everything जो अच्छी से हवा भरेगा. So everything will be based on my car, my car, my car. And then what he'll do is, he will create plans, architecture. Ki on so and so day, Saturday afternoon, I will take my family to Pune, and this is how we'll go. And we'll leave at so and so time. Akhir mera car, and why should I leave at 1 o'clock? We'll leave at 3 o'clock. Why should I leave at? So that option, the choice is for him. Because he's already set his idea that mera car se main jane wala hai. Correct? So he'll create the plans. We'll stop at the food court, have some snacks. We'll go further. We'll get off at so and so place. All those things he'll plan, so that we reach Pune by so and so time. That is a resolution. This is what he's expecting. Now, what might happen perhaps? If everything is going as per what Asif is planning, no issues. But suppose on the way there is some problems of breakdown of the car. What will be Asif's state of mind? Because he's been talking about only his car, and his people, his family members have told him, "Arey, let's go by train, let's go by this." He said, "Nothing, no, yehi isme janega." So he's obsessed with that. This is what happens to people when they're obsessed with their pet projects. So now what will happen to Asif when the car breaks down? What will happen to him? Come on, friends. Asif is saying, look, bus or cab. नहीं, Asif इतना easily नहीं होता है. अरे Asif, you are obsessed with your car. Will you think about anything else? तेरे को कार में जाने का एक जुनून होगा कि नहीं? Will you not have that one point? It is मेरा गाड़ी में ही जाएगा. अभी होगा कि नहीं है? Do human beings behave like that or not? Hello? You may try to get a mechanic. You may try to do, you will see that somehow you will fix it only there. And the friends, your family members who are with you will tell you, "Chalo, let's take the nearest outlet. We'll leave the car here in some garage or something. We'll go by bus or we'll go by train. बाजू का गाड़ी को पकड़ के." You do not listen. What happens is, when you have only one thing important in your life, you only follow that. When there's a roadblock, when something goes wrong, you do not know how to take a corrective action because you have never thought of it. Are you all understanding this? Does it happen to some of you sometimes? Let me ask you, am I talking rocket science or is it something that happens to some of you? Does it happen? You thought of doing something. एक घर में हाउसवाइफ है, वो बोलता है मुझे पनीर पालक बनाने का है, and she is hell bent on doing only पनीर पालक. वो पालक का सीजन नहीं है, वो बोलता मैं कुछ भी करके मैं पालक लाऊंगी, and she runs and runs. She doesn't get palak at all. She gets frustrated. Does it happen or not? If you're obstinate, if you're only having one single salience, and when there's a problem, will you get frustrated or not? When you're frustrated, when people give you solutions, will you listen? When you're frustrated, when people give you solution, will you listen? Deepak Taral says, yes, कोई listen नहीं, कोई नहीं बोला. Who told you people listen? People don't listen. Nobody will listen. Because उसको क्या लगेगा, वो मेरा कचरा हो गया. A human nature है. Suppose the lady is told by her husband, चुप नहीं, चलो let's have something else. आलू पनीर, आलू मटर बनाओ, कुछ बनाओ. She'll not listen. नहीं, ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? And she will blame everything. Now, she is not willing to be flexible. One of the things about integrative management is learn to be flexible. While I would like to go by my car to Pune, in case the car breaks down, in case I have a problem, could I shift to maybe the bus, or could I shift into the nearest railway station? Could I go by train? If you keep these thoughts in your mind, would you be also having some plans in your mind or not? What do you think? Suppose I never thought of a train. Will the train timetable be there in my mind? No. But if I say, ठीक है train का तो कुछ तो idea रखेगा नहीं. You will keep something with you. एक application है वो रखेगा. Contingency plan. Yes, Madan? This is my point. My point is that keep options open. When you keep options open, what are you doing? You are in more or less multiple working hypotheses. Now, second scene, just imagine Asif is coming out with this new way of doing it. Asif says, he tells his family members, अपना गाड़ी लेके जाएगा. At the same time, what he does is he keeps options open in his mind. When he keeps the options open in his mind, what happens? In case something goes wrong, he doesn't get frustrated. He's open to the change. That's important thing you underline. He's open to change. People who have multiple salience are open to changes. People who have multiple saliences are open to changes. So what will happen is he's in a position to switch gears. He's in a position to switch his action. And when he switches his action, he'll have a different way of doing things. And the result will be such that he will reach the place on time. He will reach the place on time. Some of us are doing this. Some of us keep options open, I've seen. I know people who travel only by car to the office. And when the car breaks down or something happens, they have a problem. There are other people I know, they go travel only by bus. अगर बस का strike हो गया मुंबई में, they don't go. They say train में नहीं जाएगा. Very rigid. And they say that I have always been disciplined. I only follow this path. It is okay if you follow that path for the purpose of stability and predictability. But if something goes wrong in that, you don't have contingency. When there's a band, for example, practically nobody will go to the office. Am I right or wrong? Particularly in Mumbai. Will you go to the office? No. Only few people will think of integrative approach and say, chalo, let me try to go to the office. Not show that I'm a bahadur, but काम रहेगा, कुछ रहेगा, so जाने वाला. They find ways and means of reaching the office. I know a friend of mine during one of the when we had one of the buns in Mumbai, he traveled by the police car. Police को बोला मेरे को office जाना है. They dropped him. It creative ways of doing things. Okay. The point is that we write off when we become rigid. But when we are not rigid, when we are focused, we don't write off. We have things happening to us. It is always good to be flexible, because when you're flexible, what happens is when more choices, you get more choices of thinking and action. And when you have more choices of thinking and action, you will be able to solve more problems. And then what will happen is when problems come, you will not have any issues. Okay. Mr. Deepak Taral Yashwant, I'm not sending any link to you. Don't ask for links on the chat box. Ask the support people. There's a support phone number with you. Do you have it with you, Deepak? So please, udhar nahi puchne ka. Anything administration, don't ask me. Okay, please. You're disturbing the lecture. So now what we'll do is I'll keep a break for 2 minutes and come back. Aspect of anybody wants to ask any questions on what I discussed so far, the 4 steps: salience, causality, architecture, and resolution. Anybody's got any questions on this? Please ask. Is it coming out clear to all of you? You can take many examples from your own life. If you're getting stuck up, then you're getting stuck up because you are into rigidity of a salience. And when you work in a team, like what I told Rishikesh, all the team members का क्या क्या importance एक देता है उसको चलो जानकारी करो और उसके से you have to all move around and integrate yourselves. If one person acts like a king, like a dada, saying that my way or the highway, then there's a problem. Team फिर work नहीं हुए. Okay. Any questions anybody wants to ask? Now in this chapter, we have the difference that is shown between what is called as conventional thinking and integrative thinking. Conventional thinking versus integrative thinking. What do conventional thinkers do? They have choices. As I'm talking to you, write it down. They have choices. And they put down the choices one after the other. They will make some assumptions. And then they will eliminate the choices. They will make some assumptions. They will eliminate the choices. And then they'll take action. If the action is not as per expectation, if it fails, then again they'll make some choices. And then they'll again eliminate. This is very time consuming. And also, the choices which I eliminate, I'm using the positives of that particular choice which I have eliminated. And in a conventional thinking, what do people do? In a conventional thinking, people stick on to one way of doing things. In most cases, they'll keep on looking at the same problem from different angles. The problem may not be what you're looking for. Problem is somewhere else. The problem is somewhere else. It may not be where you're looking. Okay. Since they look in one direction, what happens is their salience is limited. And so what happens? They tend to get stuck up, especially when the problems become complex. Integrative thinking, one example I can give you is about a doctor, a medical doctor. All of you go to the doctor now for small things, stomach upset, flu, you go to the doctor or not? Now, if a doctor is diagnosing you only for a cold, you go for the flu, you're having fever, and he diagnoses only for flu, he'll give you medicines for flu. Yes or no? Correct? Now, when the doctor is integrative in his thinking, which is what he's supposed to be. What he'll say is he'll try to see what would be the cause of the cold or this flu. It must be something, it's secondary symptoms, you call it. Then he may he may ask you to take some blood tests, etc., etc., etc. So he is integrating his diagnosis in such a way that he wants to ensure that you are well at the very root level. See, if a person is hurt here, we put band-aid in each place, correct? Thuk lagane ka kam hai. Band-aid we put. That is just fixing the problem in parts. So conventional thinkers, you know what they do? They fix the problems in parts, not as a whole. Whereas this doctor, what will do? He will not say, "Chalo, aaj stomach upset, dawa leke jao." Tomorrow I've got acidity, another dawa. Third day you come, that I've got some loose motions, again dawa. Now this is a linear diagnosis. Conventional thinker go for linear diagnosis. Whereas an integrative thinker will take so many things into account. He'll say, "You've got a stomach upset. What did you eat yesterday?" Actually, many doctors do this, but some doctors are not like this, unfortunately. What did you eat? Okay, tell me one thing. Whenever you eat this particular food, you get an allergy. Does your skin irritate? Do you get a headache? They'll ask you questions which seem to you irrelevant. But what the doctor is doing is mapping the various saliences. He's going from various approaches. Rather, his saliences are many in his mind. He's giving importance to other parts of the body, and that makes him ask you these questions, causality. Then he creates an architecture of a prescription. He says, okay, take these medicines. Some I'm going to give you. I'll give an injection. Take this medicine from the shop. Do we see this or not, friends? And when you go, and after you take medicine, the resolution comes up. You feel okay, you feel not okay, something is okay, something is not okay. So you go back into the steps. So if you go back to the diagram in page number 33 of your book, it says you find there are dotted lines coming downwards from resolution to architecture to causality to salience. Are you seeing that? From causality to architecture, from resolution to architecture to causality to salience, it's coming down. Have you seen that? Now that means, it simply means that when the resolution comes up, whatever outcome is coming, the outcome ka feedback, you have to ask yourself a question. Hey, how come I did not reach Pune on time? If Asif is going for a very important meeting, he has to be there in Pune at 3 p.m. and he's reaching at 4 o'clock because of lots of interruptions. Something has gone wrong along the road. The car gave up trouble. There was a traffic jam or landslide, jo bhi hai. So when he reaches Pune, he reaches late. The work is not over. So he asks himself a question: what is it that I planned, architecture, which made me go late? He said, plan sab okay, plan mein kuch gadbad nahi tha, perfect hai. What is the thinking he did for the plan, causality? Then he'll say, causality mein kuch nahi hai. I planned everything, मैंने petrol भरा, सब कुछ किया. Then when he goes back to causality to salience, he says, what did I think which made me go late? I thought only about the car. I should have taken a train. Now, when will Asif think like this? When he's flexible. For you to take a feedback, you must be flexible. Do you agree or not? People come to me for feedback. Sir, कैसा था? लेकिन वो flexible नहीं है, no feedback लेता नहीं है. जैसे मुंडी लगे जाएगा. So if Asif says, oh my God, I got late because I'm rigid on going by my car, then Asif will say, next time, if Asif is valuing going on time, then he say, next time, I'll not take the car, I'll try to, or even if I take a car, I'll go early. So he will make some adjustments. He will make multiple saliences. Are you with me? Are you with me? Okay. This is what I want you to understand. Put this in practice in your life, my dear friends. It works so well in many, many aspects of your life. Please have your opinion, have your choices of life, but be flexible. For example, I prefer to have X type of a food. I prefer that. But every day I don't have it. Now, if I get addicted saying that मेरे को यही खाना मांगता है, I'm restricting myself. Many youngsters go abroad to study US में. वो कभी घर छोड़ के गए नहीं, घर में खाना खाता है, मम्मी का खाना खाता है. When they go, they are into so much of trouble. They ask so many questions to people. इधर खाना मिलेगा कि थेपला मिलेगा कि ढोकला मिलेगा, all these things they ask. Had they been moving around, had they been going around the place, they get multiple senses, multiple experiences, multiple architectures. So they don't know how to live. Right? Yeah, visit to China is a case for food. You're right, Rishikesh. But China में भी तेरे को खाना मिलेगा. Even if you're a vegetarian who doesn't eat all those worms and crawling creatures, even then you'll get it provided you know what to look for it. See, we went Malam. Malam predominantly all fish eating area. We had two Jains with us. I am also vegetarian. Now these Jains, what did उनका salience कैसा था? किधर से तो सूंघ के निकल के they took one vegetarian restaurant in Malvan. Total vegetarian. So they said, sir, मिल गया हम लोग को, चलो let's go. So we went there. So even even in a place, if you really think integratively, things can happen. See, there are two ways. Rishikesh can say, मैं China नहीं जाएगा, क्योंकि उधर non-veg veg नहीं है. He can straight away take a stance based on a linear hypothesis. And many people do that. I won't go to this country. I won't go to that place because udhar ye milta hai. They have already made a general opinion. So they don't think otherwise. है ना? ढूंढने से खुदा भी मिलता है. बिल्कुल आसिफ. Absolutely correct. Right? Then see, Rishi said in China he searched for a hotel and he got a place called Taj Palace. Lovely. Okay, are you getting this particular discussion what I'm talking right now? And in your book, we are discussing what is called as embracing the mess 2.3. Now, what is a mess? I want to explain two things. One is called as a chaos. The other one is called as a complexity. And the third one is mess. I want to explain this to you. Can you give me 2 minutes? I just came back. So guys, I'm back here and we can talk about the chapter number 2. I was explaining about, let me discuss this thing called chaos. Now, there's a mess in a table. There's a mess in a table. Things are cluttered. So many things are there in a table. How many of you would not be comfortable? A place is very messy. How many of you will not be comfortable? Rishikesh says he won't be comfortable. How many of you will feel very much phased out? Sarang says he's comfortable. The only person who says comfortable is Sarang Deshpande. Most of you will not be comfortable, you are saying. Why would you not be comfortable? Why would you not be comfortable? Why would most of you not be comfortable when you see mess? Manish Mistry says, as long as we are able to find things which is required, he has no issues, he says. He's comfortable. Sigmund Rosha is saying that because it's not organized mentality you mean, or mentally. Okay. Rishikesh says, for me, clearing the mess will be in the back of mind. Basanti can't concentrate, she says. Kaushiki says, things are not organized. Mentality, you're saying. Okay, fine. Mess retards process of thinking. Wow. Sanjay Bhattacharya says, mess retards process of thinking. Wow. I like this statement. Now, please understand one thing. Okay, let me ask you a question. 26/11 happened in Mumbai. Was Taj under mess or not? Correct? All agree? Now, if I send any one of you, will you be able to rescue the people? If I send any one of you, will you be able to rescue the people? No. So what is it that the commandos did which you can't do? The commandos came, they rescued people. They were trained into what, Sigmund Rosha? What were they trained into? Yeah, Suprakash, what training? Now that's the training you should go through now in handling those matters. What matters, Sigmund? What matters? Security. It's not security alone. Was it only one linear problem of security? There were so many things around there. Death is around the corner. Everything is in a mess. And they went in. And they actually did the job within 2 days. Now, please listen carefully. If you do not tolerate chaos, you can't be a leader. Calling somebody as a leader is stupid. Leadership में क्या होता है? Leaders are people who look at a chaotic table as a complexity. The word complexity. They look at this as complex, not a mess, not something which is unmanageable. This is taking to the next thinking level, next action level. Yes, having a clean table is good. Having things in a proper place is good. Nobody is denying that. But you get so stuck up to that, is it not a single salience? Is it not single salience? And you will become intolerant towards people whose tables are mess. When you go to the car mechanic's shop, is it a mess or is it clean and neat? When you take your car to the car mechanic's repair shop, do you get your car serviced excellently well or not? So do you feel insecure to keep your car in a messy garage? Why? Everybody's saying no. Why? Now you tell me why. Only Sharad Chandra Garud is saying he'll feel insecure to keep a car in this one. Kaushiki says, I have what confidence you're having, Kaushiki? See, right, sometime back, all of you said that I cannot stand mess. I will not be able to function properly. Since I can't stand a mess, what happens is I don't like mess, I hate mess. So wherever there's a mess, I'll not entertain. This is the underlying thing, right? But now you people are saying that he handles, Kaushiki says he will handle the mess. Now do you also want to handle the mess, Kaushiki? Do you also want to handle the mess? How many of you would like to understand chaos and be with it? I'm not asking you. Right? Signal Rosha is writing, I have experienced scenes where a table was in a mess and a vendor walked in for a meeting and got a coat of another vendor. Possible. I'm not saying don't keep a neat table. Please don't take a wrong signal. I'm only telling you, learn to accept chaos also as one of the important learning. That is what leaders do. AJ Laflika, usko hath mein company diya gaya. Was it chaos or not? Was it a chaos or not? They know how to manage chaos. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. That is what it is. What is the tough? Tough is chaos. Chaos tolerance is a very important part of leadership growth. If you want to really grow up in life, learn to accept chaos as a life. Or chaos के अंदर आपको clarity दिखना चाहिए. Within chaos, you will be able to see clarity. One student has just written, that so long as I can know which paper is lying where in my table, it is okay. I agree with him. I am not entertaining chaos, and don't take a wrong signal. Again, I'm telling you. But don't condemn a person whose table is chaotic. How many of you come across people whose table is chaotic and yet the person is extremely efficient? Have you come across such people or not? They have got leadership thinking. What is important is, my dear friend, there should be clarity here. There should be clarity in the doka, not on the table alone. How many of you sit on a clean table and yet your mind is cluttered? Tell me, come on, raise your hands. How many of you sit on a clean table? You clean your table and your mind is cluttered. What's the use of a clean table when your mind is cluttered? First, clear your mind. Either पहले housekeeping करो. अगर ये housekeeping किया, you will be like commando who came and rescued the 26/11. Those people, they came in a chaos. They landed up. They were brought from somewhere. They don't even know what is what. They had to just rescue people. Just remind me, one of you, Kaushiki, or one of you, send me a message. Okay, WhatsApp me something. I'll give you a link. There is a particular link in the YouTube which I wanted to see. It's an army person, retired army general, who has spoken about how they teach them chaos management. I want all of you to see that. That's a remarkable, a brilliant case of integrative management. Imagine you walk in the Raj 26/11, all those terrorists are inside, they're firing people, they're keeping people as hostages, and you are not even, you don't know what is around the corner, and you're actually taking the entire team in a very systematic manner. How can you get a system into a chaos? How can you get a system when there is chaos? That is what is leadership. That comes only when you know integrative thinking or something, some similar approach. Are you with me? All of you got it? Is it a new learning today for you? Now onwards, please understand one thing. That when there's a chaos, look at it and see what sense you can make of a chaos. How many of you go to the vegetable market? I'm not talking about the structured vegetable market, not in the malls. I'm talking about the market which is there on the roads. How many of you go? Now, in the roads, I want you to stop there and watch. You may not like to be there for more than 5 minutes. Most of you go there, you don't even negotiate, you don't even bargain with the bhaji wala. You pick up something and go because, oh my God, it's messy. Chalo, jaldi niklega. Good, nothing wrong about it. But if you stand there, look at bhaji wala who's having 20 bhajis around him. and he doesn't have a proper rack. He doesn't have a stacking shelf or something. He's sitting on a rickety chair or something. He doesn't have a cash counter like you have in a shopping mall, and he's doing his business. Watch him. Watch him. And when you watch him, when you stand there with a little bit of patience and alertness and awareness, you will realize, my God, what integration is doing. And I see some ladies who are selling vegetables, बच्चे को भी साथ में रखा है, उसको खाना खिलाते हैं, भाजी भी बेचता है. This is not multitasking. This is integration. Because when you do multitasking, you get stressed. When you do multitasking, you get stressed. Multitasking is humbug. It's a big humbug. Quit multitasking, but do get into integrative. When you do integrative thinking and action, you are relaxed and you enjoy your day. You enjoy your work, even if you're doing multiple work. ये multitasking करके सब में थोड़ा थोड़ा उंगली डालने का, don't do service to anybody, and you are stressed out. The whole company is a big mess. Most of the insurance companies in India today are into this stupid mess, I tell you. And they screw up customers, they screw up employees, they screw up their own companies. I'm saying this very closely. So the bottom line of the discussion is what? Do not neglect or get allergy to chaos. Chaos has got its major usefulness in understanding integrative thinking. I'll give you an example. Another example. You go to a very crowded city or a town. How many of you have been to crowded cities and towns? And when you go there, you're standing in some nukkad, some corner. You want to go from one place to another. There are cars available, or rather taxis, auto rickshaws, buses. You have the cycle rickshaw. Different types of transport is available. If you stand there, reaching another place, is it easier or not? Because they've got multiple modes of transport. The place is messy. Am I right or wrong? In many messy places, I've seen solutions coming, believe it or not. Now there are stupid, idiotic people like Mumbaikars who go to such places. They'll stay in a hotel and they will order for a AC car to go from one place to another. उधर AC car का culture नहीं है. और वो AC car बेचारा आने को 2 घंटा लगेगा. Then they'll give gali. They'll say these small towns are all humbug. I've seen this happen in Nasik by a friend of mine. I told him, यार तो अक्कल लेके ये इधर AC, not now. पहले की बात करता हूँ. I'm talking about 15 years back. I told him in Nasik, like Nasik, because the transportation system is different. Now this adaptability and flexibility is a hallmark of an integrated manager. Are you adaptable? Are you flexible? माहौल को enjoy करते क्या तुम? अगर कोई चीज को enjoy नहीं करते, उसमें integration नहीं आएगा. I sent some full-time students to the market for a subject which I teach, OB. I told them go and do some, I gave the project. So one of the girls, she was very enthusiastic. She went and told the lady, आप इधर बैठे हैं, are you comfortable? आपको हम लोग stacking बना के देगा. She was talking scientific to her, which is not wrong. You know what the lady told the girl? देखो बेटी, मैं ये जो करता हूँ ना, मुझको बहुत अच्छा लगता है. लोग आते हैं, मेरे को बात करते हैं. 360 degrees around her vegetables. She's sitting in the center. So our youngster goes and tells her, like a management student, we'll show you stacking कैसे करने का. We'll give you cash till उसके अंदर rupees इसमें डालो, चिल्लर इसमें डालो. All that they said. She says, I know what I'm doing. How many of you have been to a banya ka dukan in Bombay? Old banya ka dukan. Now in the banya ka dukan, you'll notice that fellow, you buy about 20-30 items from him. 20-30 provisions. Does he have a calculator? Is the shop mess or not? How many of you have been to these banya shops? Is it messy, the shop? It is messy. He knows what is kept where. He doesn't have barcoding. He doesn't have stacking arrangements. He doesn't do anything which the retail management teaches you. I'm not saying all this is wrong. Huh? Don't take a wrong signal. They have something with them which is highly intuitive. Now this man, you take 20 or 30 items, he will total up within seconds and tell you exact total. That's because he is integrated here. He's got clarity here. He knows exactly क्या किधर रखा है. Take your own mothers and grandmothers. In a dabba they'll keep something. The dabba they'll keep in some third shelf on the left hand corner. And when you call up your grandmother, she'll say, "Beta, you go to the shelf, go to the third corner. वो डब्बा निकालो, डब्बा के अंदर एक box, एक पैकेट है. वो पैकेट को खोलो, उसके अंदर दूसरा पैकेट है." Does she say this or not? This is memory. When you start relying too much on technology, your memory goes for a toss. 90% of you listening to me, youngsters, you are only in the electronic memory. तुम लोगों को खुद का memory नहीं है. That is what is very tragic. Yes, Rishikesh. Because of this, what happens? You can't think for yourself. Integrative thinkers have a mind of their own. They think for themselves. They don't Google. When integrative thinkers have got a problem, they don't Google. You guys Google. तुम लोग को Google मांगता है हर चीज के लिए. Electronic meeting. What I'm trying to tell you is very simple. You are a human being. You have got huge amount of information in your mind. Don't reject it by getting into all these things excessively. I want clarity on my table. I want clarity in the way I work. I want stability, no doubt, but not to the extent to which I reject other things. None of you will visit Masjid in Bombay. I know that. None of you will be comfortable. How about taking a vacation? How about taking a Sunday break and going to a place like Bhindi Bazaar? You know where is Bhindi Bazaar, na? It's a very messy place. Just go and take a walk. How many of you got the capacity to enjoy walking in a messy place like Sakinaka or Bhindi Bazaar or any such messy place in Mumbai? Do you do that? And just go there and watch. Ranade Road is better, Rishikesh. Ranade Road is much better. At least Ranade Road wide hai. Or if you go to the binds of Bhindi Bazaar, it's sickening for some people. But there you go and see there's an economy going on, a parallel economy. And you see a lot of creativity going on. You learn management there, you learn integration there. There are shops which are selling phones. All the phones which are available in the market is available there. 2 number ka, 3 number ka secondary hai. And that man, you can ask him that if you take this phone from me, if I take this phone from you, if it conks off, what happens? He says, "Ye dukan mera 30 years se hai. I'll run away, come back to me, I'll give you a replacement." Even the authentic phone companies don't give you a replacement. You know that these guys give you. Now, I'm not promoting them. Don't take a wrong signal. I'm only telling you one thing. I want to tell you one thing. How integrative thinking is already there in India. How integrative thinking is a part of our mainstream thinking in life. We don't have to learn it from Roger Martin or any of these people. I'm not saying they're wrong, but they're giving it a structure. We don't give it a structure. That's the difference. Are you with me, friends? Am I coming out clear to all of you? Okay. Now, friends, whenever an integrative thinking person looks at a mess, he doesn't run away. He watches. He says, "Okay, let's see what we can do best." So, okay, pick up this, pick up that, pick up that. He makes sense out of it. For them, a mess is a complexity. For a conventional thinker, mess is a chaos. Complexity means the parts are all lying helter-skelter. But a person, when he sees a connection between all the components, in spite of the mess, that is complexity for him. The problem is complex, he will say, but we can solve it. But the other person will say, "Oh my God, it's such a mess, I can't touch it, I'm running away." He's just an ordinary manager. He can't be integrative thinker because he's already fixed up his salience. Are you with me, friends? I'm getting clear to all of you. Right? Now, embrace the mess means what? I want to understand mess. Because unfortunately, what happens in life, how many of you agree, more or less, that throughout the day there is some mess or the other in your house? तो कितना भी clarity में लाने को देखो, mess आता है कि नहीं है? And because the mess is something you can't tolerate, you get stressed. Do you know that? You get stressed because you can't tolerate mess. Is it not true? Think about it. See, Deepak will clear up his table. Then the mess comes, his department person will come and give something. Deepak again clears the mess. He's called into a meeting out of schedule. That is again a mess. Is it fact or not? If there's a schedule, if Deepak is going to work from say 11 to 2:30 at his desk for a task which is scheduled, and then suddenly boss calls him at 1:30 even skipping the lunch, then is he not hijacked? Will Deepak feel comfortable? Has Deepak timetable gone for toss or not? What do you think, friends? Yes or no? Now, this is what I'm saying. Now, if Deepak is looking at it as a mess, I know many people in the evening they sit down and say, oh my God, मेरा पूरा दिन गया आज. मैं timetable के मुताबिक कुछ चला नहीं है. This fellow called me that, and this, every day when you start languaging mess as bad, mess as bad, mess as bad, your whole life sucks. I'm not saying say mess is good, but when mess comes, it has come. That is what is reality. And when the hate is coming, don't offer resistance, like what we told in the first chapter. Just watch it. अच्छा ठीक है, ये problem है ना, क्या करेंगे? Let's do it. So you are into solution, not into languaging. It's so important. Actually, in a day, you all are doing productive work, all of you. You don't realize it. You don't realize it because you have norms. तुम्हारे साथ बोलते हैं ऐसा करेगा तो ये अच्छा work है. ऐसा नहीं होता है. See, organizations are complex. When you want to rise up the organization, you must understand that if you're linear thinking, it has limitations. उसके ऊपर जाते हैं तुमको ऐसा think करना पड़ता है. That is what we are learning right now. The best food comes from the messiest kitchen. Do you agree? I am not saying keep kitchens messy and don't have the wrong signal again. I've seen one of my relatives, one cousin sister of mine, she cooks the whole table, the kitchen table is very big mess. Where is the haldi, where is the dhania, nobody knows. But he'll just tell one, chupcha baito, main khana banai lati hu. And I've watched her work. My God, what an integrated thinking she has. Awesome. She'll put some 20, 30 different types of masala into the food that is cooking, and she knows where to pick it from. Then I realized, oh, she's awesome because integration is here. She has got clarity here. Ultimately, leaders, managers, human beings to run their lives they need to have a clarity here, not on the table alone. Are you getting it, friends? Am I coming out clear? Okay, so a few points which I'd like to read out. In my book, it's page number 58, 2.5. Which page is it in your book? Page 45. Asif has written 45. Okay, go to page number 45. There's a diagram about that, integrative thinking versus conventional thinking. And now what I've done is I've written them in four points. Each point is each step. One is salience, the second is causality, third is architecture, fourth one is resolution. So the first point says the first difference between integrative thinkers and conventional thinkers is that integrative thinkers take a broader view about what is salient. Underline the word broader view. Bracket mein likho more saliences, plural, more saliences. So more salient features for messier problems. For who? For the conventional thinkers. Conventional thinkers का मतलब conventional thinker क्या बोले मेरे को दिमाग को त्रास मत देना. I want to go by car. So don't tell me about this and that. एक बोल मेरे को उसमें जाएगा. Page number 45. Okay. Integrative thinkers, what do? They don't mind the mess because they know the best answers arrive from complexity. Underline that full sentence. Integrative thinkers don't mind the mess because they know the best answers arise from complexity. They use the complexity. Okay, this is the first point. Write it down on the left-hand side. It's about the salience. In salience, how does the integrative thinker think and how does the conventional thinker think? That's a difference they have shown. Second point is about the causality. Integrative thinkers don't flinch. They don't hesitate from considering multidimensional and non-linear causal relationships. They have got lateral thinking process. They are in innovative management, we said now people have to come out of the box. They can connect anything with anything. अगर बारिश तो कल उठ के ट्रेन चलेगा क्या? This is a linear thinking. बारिश हुआ, will I be able to get food at the food mall? अरे फूड मॉल का और बारिश का क्या कनेक्शन है? Those of you attending my innovation management workshop on Sunday, I think people like Kaushik and all, we did what is called as a connecting exercise. Take words and connect it. Two words we do not have any connection. And you can ask Kaushiki and other people who attended how we went through it. Learning to connect things which are seemingly unconnected is a hallmark of a integrated manager. तो वो बोलेगा अभी ये बारिश जो होता है, बारिश होगा तो फूड मॉल में खाना नहीं मिलेगा, ये एक थॉट तेरे दिमाग में आएगा. You'll think, people will think you're crazy. It is crazy from the viewpoint of a professional thinker. Now can you connect? बारिश आएगा, possibly transportation नहीं रहेगा. Because there is no transportation, it is possible that the food may not go there, so food may not get. ऐसा करके कहने गएगा. Somebody will say you're thinking dangerously. तो कुछ सोचता है जो नहीं होगा. Everybody tells you this or not. Every conventional thinker will tell you, don't think dangerously, don't go haywire. Now, I'm not asking you to go haywire. I'm only telling you that learn to connect things which are seemingly unconnected. Because who knows what will happen where? And that openness is important. That openness is what these people have. System dynamics tools help integrative consider complex causal relations in creating models and help them models in which the whole is viewed rather than split into discrete components, which means integrative thinkers are able to see the connection of the components of a system. System is basically one particular unit. Take the body, which is a dynamic system. I've got the head, I've got the eyes, I've got the nose, mouth, all the organs within the body. Like I told you about the doctor. If you've got an ear problem, the doctor will only handle the ear if he's conventional thinker. If he's an integrated thinker, he'll not only examine the ear, he'll examine my heart, he'll examine my knee, and he'll ask me to do something else. So he takes a whole system as interrelated with each other. Okay? Third one is difference between integrative and conventional thinkers is the architecture of their decision, the way they create plans. Using the same system perspective, integrative thinkers keep the entire problem in the mind. Did I give you this example? A factory, manufacturing unit in the remote part of Mumbai. I'm talking about 25 years back. I put up a plant because of tax benefits very far away from the railway station. And the management was expecting workers to be exactly on time. If we are late by even 1 minute, it's a casual leave cancelled. It's given away. 3 casual leaves means 3 late comings is 1 casual leave. So it was becoming too oppressive, and the management was very strict about it. They were told, don't be so strict because there is a problem of coming in and going. But you know what management is doing? Hey, aana padega. You should learn to be punctual. They'll give all this pep talk. Pep talk is important to boost up people, but not under unpractical conditions. But then management was like that. So what used to happen? Very interesting thing happened. People used to come on time. They used to punch the card. There was a punching card those days. Today we have all this, apna biometric. They used to punch the card and go inside. And then guess what they used to do? They used to go to the canteen. They spent next 30 minutes or 45 minutes in the canteen. The management was not noticing that they are losing on production. Very important part of the whole day is the production to happen. They were penny wise and pound foolish. They were focusing on an area where they need to be flexible, and they were not focusing on an area where they need to be firm. So one engineer pointed this out to the HR person. Well, what the hell are you doing? These people are struggling and coming, and do you know what they do? Next 30 to 45 minutes, they relax for all the stress they have carried while coming to the factory. Now, when this engineer told this HR person, he was not ready to listen. The engineer took it up with there's a department called industrial engineering, which takes care of productivity. They've calculated all those figures those days. So he told the IEP, industrial engineering people, look, this is what's happening. Then that person was very open and said, my God, so much of time is being wasted. Then there are two ways of handling this. One way is tell the workers not to spend more than 10 minutes at canteen. Will that have a problem or not? What do you think? Will it not be too much of a compression? Companies do this. Fortunately, the company said too much of restrictions is very dangerous for people, especially when they're coming under such trying conditions. So what did he do? He spoke to the manager and the works manager, and they decided, okay, we'll do one thing. Early morning when you're coming, we'll keep it flexible for 15 minutes. 15 minutes flexibility में आप जाइए. So 9 to 9:15 or whatever time was 7 to 7:15, you can come in that time. But beyond 7:15, we will mark you late. So people were willing to have that 15-minute gap. And gradually you found that they were spending less time in the canteen and the production time was increasing and they were getting back to normal. Now this is a architecture which was created because of integrative thinking. Those days we did not know it is integrative thinking, but this is what it's actually the action. Right? So they create architecture which looks at the total picture, not at only isolated picture. In today's world, many HR people, for example, I've seen companies, they take a narrow picture. They create a process or process को follow करता है. आदमी गए भाड़ में process को follow करने. Process has become the biggest curse today. Process is not to run people. People have to run process. There are 3 P's: people, process, and profits. Profits come only when people run processes, not process running people. And processes need to be modified from time to time so that people are falling in line. People are able to become more efficient. Now this is a separate topic. I'm not taking it here. It's in a different subject which I take. I just want to give you a jhalak about it, right? Now comes the last one. Integrative thinkers always search and create a resolution or tension rather than accepting unpleasant trade-off. They make it a point to keep on finding out new ways of coming up with solutions. Even if I reach Pune on time by car, if I'm an integrated thinker, I'll say, no, let me next time go by cycle. Let me find the better and better ways of doing things. They are not happy content only with one type of doing. Okay? Now, so again, in the next 2 paragraphs, conventional thinking, there are some points given, 9 points, and integrative points given in the next page. Okay? So, this is ending this chapter. As an example given in the last page, below the summary, one day a friend of mine found herself in an either-or situation. She told me that a reporting manager asked her to consider leaving the job if she cannot sit late. This is something most of you have been knowing. She needed the job to take care of her family, which had major financial issues. Moreover, she had to attend her ailing mother and had to leave the closing time. Okay? She was not even aware that there was a policy to work from home. She assumed the worst could happen, and what she did was she gave the resignation saying that I cannot do this. So I told her to check out whether she could think of other possibilities of not losing the job and also taking care of her mother by leaving office at the usual closing time. Integrative approach. She blinked and could not think. She had not developed thinking of more saliences. She thought linearly. Many of you do linear thinking. I'm giving examples. Now exams will start. तुम लोग क्या करेगा? You are going to book aptech. I think this is not aptech. You are going to do this at home. Now when you come to the next exam, when you book the aptech, people are of the first opinion जो तुमको बोला गया है वही है. Your marketing people who marketed the program, you would have told XYZ, correct? When you come to the college, you see something which is not XYZ. Now you tend to believe only one, you reject the other. Don't do that, many of you. If you take both of them together, take the best of both, then you'll know, Are Baba, let me take what is actually the truth about what's going on here. Many students are like that, especially the ones who never come to Wellinger Institute physically. Many of you students that never come here, you are under some opinion that distance learning runs only this way. I'm sure about it. When you actually come and see, you find something different. How many of you realize that the way we are running the virtual class lecture is integrative? The way we are running the virtual class is integrative. Those students who have never come to Wellinger, I'm talking to them. How many of you have never come here to Wellington? No PCP, no nothing. Only virtual class doesn't make sense to you, madam. You have to be there physically. I keep telling you, you don't listen. Right? So, now, if you take this example, I suggested her to go to the HR department and check out with an open mind. She met the HR department, and then what happened was she was asked to work from home. She could work from home, be with her people, at the same time she could get the income which she wanted. Now these either or approach में से जब integrative में जाता है, you will find that many problems are getting solved at the same time. Okay, so that ends the chapter number 2. Now I'll conclude with the chapter number 3, reality resolution, reality resistance and resolution. Very simple chapter, very small. We can do it fast and I'll give inputs. In the meanwhile, I'll give a short break. In case you want to ask any questions, you can come on the channel or you can put your questions on the chat box. Let me answer some questions. Some students have written something there. Suprakash Roy, how to develop integrative thinking? Learn to be open in whatever you do, Suprakash. Start questioning all your rigid habits and then do something different from what you're doing every day. Gradually develop exploring areas which you never did before. Same thing which you're doing every day repeatedly. Try to change the path. So when you're flexible, you know what happens. You start seeing new things and accept the new things also. That is one of the easiest way to become an integrative thinker. If you're opinionated, if you're having lots of prejudice about people, about food, about places, then integrative thinking is ruled out. And you must think in as many different directions. You must be able to openly accept people. So Prakash, everything starts with accepting people. India is a country where we don't accept each other. That's the biggest tragedy we have. We are integrative. But here what happens is we start feeling threatened when somebody does better than us. Okay. So it's very simple. There are training programs also which are there for integrative thinking. They take you through step by step. I conduct these trainings. But that's 2 days and then you post any exercises to be done which you have to report to me. Sigmund Rosha. I have a problem in my office. The AC is kept at 16 degrees. The co-worker and the man doesn't even sit in the cabin. How can I address the situation or what is the best way? I've tried talking to the man, but he does not listen and the boss is also not supportive. Sigmund, tell them that you are falling sick. Tell them that it is affecting my health. Tell them to give you a cabin outside. This is one way of doing it. Tell them very clear that I'm sick, I can't sit here. If in spite of that they don't listen, tell them that I'm leaving the company. I'm not asking you to do that. But you have to tell them very clearly that this is an issue I'm facing. 16 degrees of temperature is like a freezer. No sane man will ever do this. If the man is not sitting in the cabin and he's still doing this, then something, he's your boss, he's a co-worker. No? So have a word with these people. If they still don't do it, then you tell them, I'm not interested in the cabin because my health is important. You sit outside. First step. Second step is try talking to this co-worker. Tell him, Baba, he says, hai, kya kuch kar sakte hai? If he's still rigid, leave him alone. Okay. And last but not least segment, ask yourself a question. Am I perceiving both of them as rigid? It is possible that you're thinking that they're rigid. They may not be. How do you talk to them? How do you get it done through them? I don't know. I'm asking you a question. Are you very, do you address it in a proper way? It's possible that you don't like the way you're talking. Never know. You're saying you're flexible. I'm not being judgmental about you nor them. So ask them exactly. Tell them that temperature, अच्छा रहेगा. Build some bridges with them. Only this is the very minor problem can be solved. Prakriti Shah, for my office, I posted an article on how much cold affects health in tropical countries on the company's notice board. It helped. Even that Prakriti may help, may not help. But in some cases, some people, I know one guy, even in winter, he keeps a fan on and keeps the AC on. Not Mumbai winter. I'm talking about Nasik and Nagpur winter. He loves it. So he is sleeping alone in his room. His family, his wife and children, they sleep elsewhere. Then he's complaining that you don't want me. He said, we don't want you with the stupid habits of yours. If people are rigid now, you don't become part of rigidity. Very simple. There are a lot of Yedas in this life. Sanjay Bhattacharya, how integrative thinking is different from conventional thinking in terms of resolution. Because resolution is the last of all steps in modes of thinking. Sanjay Bhattacharya, when the resolution takes place, the conventional thinker will blame the world. The integrative thinker will look at himself and go back to the steps which I showed in the diagram. He'll go down and keep on asking feedback. He has an openness to criticize himself. Whereas if you're a conventional thinker, you'll say, I'm right, the world is wrong. This is the difference after resolution. Sharad Chandra, Garud. We can see lots of energy by increasing AC temperature 14, 16 to 24 degrees. Okay, fine. Anything else on integrated thinking? Anybody wants to ask? All your problems in your life is coming because you're rigid. Let me tell you this, all of you. So whoever is rigid and whoever thinks that my way is the best way, you'll definitely face problems successfully to go problem. But if you're very flexible, you know what happens? With every climate, with every group, you can merge and mix and learn. You can get things done. That's a skill. That is leadership behavior. Okay, let's go to chapter number 3. Reality, resistance and resolution. This chapter is one very important thing. A dialogue that happens between three people. Two vice presidents of the same company. Go to 3.2. Go to 3.2. In my book, it is page number 68. Differences in perception. 3.2. Okay, it is 54. Asif, thank you. There's a term called corporate Rashomon. Rashomon effect is a term you need to understand. There was a movie, Japanese movie by the name of Rashomon. So in the movie, they show there's an accident or something taking place, some murder or accident is taking place, and there are 4 people who are watching the same thing. Each one reports differently. Does it happen or not in life? Same incident. I'm taking a lecture right now. Now, if somebody is going to ask Sigmund, how was Venkat Sir's lecture? Sigmund will give one version. Same thing will be told by Swach differently. Same thing will be told by Sharad Chandra differently. Is it a fact or not? Now, which version is correct? Nobody knows. These are all opinions, not facts. Whatever Sigmund feels is salient for him, from that point of view, he will look at my lecture and look at me. Then he will say, bakwas acha nahi tha, because it did not fit into his salience, perhaps. Somebody else will say, wow, Venkat Sir rocks, he's too good, because it served his purpose in his salience. A third person will say, with multiple saliences, oh, he's covering so many topics, he's doing so many things, I can ask him more questions. So each one of you will have a different opinion about the same one single professor who's teaching you right now. Okay? Now, this is an example given Sally and Bill, Sally is a guy, Sally is a lady and Bill is a guy, two vice presidents of a company called Vision Tech, to visit a customer. And when they visit a customer, the customer is talking to them, three sentences. I like Vision Tech. It has been an innovative leader in this business for a long time. But I'm coming under increasing cost pressure and I have to make trade-offs. I really like Vision Tech. It has been an innovative leader in this business for a long time. But I'm coming under increasing cost pressure and I have to make trade-off. Trade-off means compromise. Both of them are listening to the same version. What do you think this customer is saying? What do you think is the customer saying? According to the customer, what is your interpretation of the three sentences? Without referring to the book, can you tell me, if you hear these three sentences, I really like Vision Tech. Vision Tech is your company, let's say. It has been an innovative leader in the business for a long time. But I'm coming under increased cost pressure and I have to make trade-offs. This is what the customer is telling you. इसमें से आपको क्या interpretation देगा? Prakriti says the customer is hinting at getting discounts and price reduction. Deepak Patel says cost. Okay. What else? Asif Qureshi is saying increase sale. Okay. Come on, somebody else. Good. Very good. Samadhan says appreciation to the company. Okay. Rishikesh says they trust in the company, but they trust their products and innovation. But new products are costly and hinting market intelligence of the company. Okay. Sarang Deshpande says company is not profit oriented. Vision Tech is not profit oriented. That's what Sarang's interpretation is. Asif further says that do some responsible cost cutting. Okay. Reasonable cost cutting. Sarang says, okay, profit oriented. Sarang Gorte is saying happy with product but looking for cheaper price. All you people are saying whatever these two have also interpreted, different interpretation. They are hinting at new profitable deal. Sanjay Bhattacharya says the vendor raised price. Now, this is exactly what happens. Each of you are interpreting three sentences differently. It happened to me last week in one of the part-time masters classroom. I'm teaching the part-time masters evening ka course of the theme. We have a 3-hour lecture in the evening, 6:30 to 9:30. They're the master's course of the University of Bombay, working people like you all. So last Wednesday, I was not taking a lecture in the class. So I'm teaching communication. Joke dekho. I teach business communication there, which is of an advanced type. So I told them there are 3 CRs. It's a very, very big class. The 3 CRs I told them, next Wednesday, I am not taking a lecture. What did I say? Next Wednesday, I'm not taking a lecture. And I usually shoot off a mail to the concerned registrar. What did I say? I am not taking a lecture on Wednesday. Now, what do you think some students interpreted? Snehal More says, you may take, no, GD nahi hai udhar. GD to nahi hai. I'm not taking a lecture. I just said I'm not taking a lecture. What did you say? No. Students come at 6:30 after work. They sit up to 9:30, they face a lecture, then they go. I could take a test, okay? No class holiday Samadhan. Exactly what bola. You know what they had said? मतलब छुट्टी है, lecture नहीं है क्या बोला? I said, hey, hello, wait, I told them. Wait. I said, I am not taking a lecture. Somebody else may take a lecture. It happened with another faculty in Wellinger. The poor man said, I'm not taking a lecture on the phone. CR जाके class को बोला, आज lecture नहीं है. Because what we do in Wellinger is if one professor doesn't take, we request another professor to come and teach. And this idiot went and said, this is how most of you create trouble for us. You know that? I had a problem that day on Sunday. Sunday, innovative management का workshop चलता था. The class, it was full. 35 students were there. And as usual, Indians have got the dirty habit. Last minute में सब लोग आएगा. Last minute में some students came. Sir, मेरे को आने का है. They called me. I said, I am not the authority. You have to talk to the office, to Bhavesh. What did I say? I am not the authority. You have to talk to Bhavesh because he takes care of the admin part of it. Now these girls are there. They went to him. Venkat sir has given us authority to attend. Please take the fees. Venkat sir has given us authority to attend. Please take the fees. How do you like this? And Bhavesh comes running after me. बोलता ये sir आपने कभी authorize किया? I told Bhavesh, यार Bhavesh, you must also have some अक्ल. तू क्या ऐसा बात करते है? Bhavesh is very close to me. I can talk to him like that because he's not. He doesn't take it very. He doesn't take it very seriously. I said, students आके कुछ भी बोलेगा तेरे को. You know me or not? First and foremost, I'm not the authorized. वो लड़की को बोला कि मैं बोले तू क्या बोला? She refused to say that. She refused to accept the fact that she said these words. This is another tragedy which people have. All this is non-integrative thinking in action. You know that? Sometimes you do not know what you talked. Either you save your skin or you don't want to admit. Or you don't even remember. So what's the moral of the story? When people come and talk to you, can I come for the workshop? I don't know. I'm not the person. सीधा बोल देगा. वो बोलने के बाद भी people add masala. Some people, some girls and boys, you know, they've got this fantastic habit of interpreting and putting words which are damaging. Do you know that? And some of you do it. I told one PCP class, I may take a lecture at 8 a.m. Pujari sir लेते ना कभी morning में. I said, I may take a lecture at 8 a.m. I may. And clearly I told the students, if I'm taking a lecture, I will inform you by tonight 10 p.m. अगर मैंने 10 p.m. को मैसेज नहीं आया तो लेक्चर नहीं है. Early morning, not the ones who heard me, the ones who did not hear me, 10 of them landed up here. And one of them is phoning me, sir, आपका लेक्चर है ना? मतलब किसने बोला? सर इसने बोला मेरे को लेक्चर है. I emphasize not once, thrice. I tell them to repeat it. And yet this is called as Chinese whispers. People interpret whatever they want to interpret. They put us into trouble. Fortunately, nobody puts me in trouble because the management knows me very well. I shake up the children. I shake up the students. I say, what the hell are you talking? नहीं sir, मेरे को मांगते तुम लोग कुछ भी बोल के निकल जाता है. You don't have any commitment of talking. That is where people get into trouble. Learn to get into responsible communication. All of you, please. The words you say matters. How you put it matters. How it is interpreted matters. This is all integrative thinking. Do you realize what is the gravity of what you're talking? Do you realize sometimes what you're talking is not correct? Learning communication under Bhairavi alone is not enough. You must also learn how to practice it. So in this corporate Roshaman, what happens? 3 sentences are told Sally and Bill, and both of them come out of the meeting room. Sally hears the customer and he concludes, innovation and leadership are the most critical avenues for Vision Tech to pursue. Bill hears, she feels innovation and leadership are the most critical avenues for Vision Tech to pursue. Bill hears the customer and he concludes, Vision Tech has to get cost down so that Vision Tech can be price competitive. Both are senior people. 15-20 साल का experience होगा शायद. And they come out and they start talking, they start exchanging notes. Then Sally says what she thinks is correct. Bill says what he thinks is correct, and both of them get into a panga. Now who is correct? We do not know. What do you do under these circumstances? Ask the customer once again. What exactly do you mean? Then he will say, "Nahi, I want you to bring down the price of your product." He might say that. Or he might say, no. I was just talking about my company, but I praise your company. Unless you clarify, you will not get the answer. If you assume, you become an ass. People assume, people don't clarify. When I go for my trainings to companies, when I meet the HR people or some CEO, they come out with some vague words, jargon. I tell them, can you tell me what do you mean by this? Are Venkat, you're a trainer, you do not know. I said, I know it, but I want to know what is your interpretation of that word? Do you all agree that interpretation of the word is differing from person to person? All of you agree? तो उसमें सब लोग फंस जाते हैं. I spoke about this in the class. There's a word called pedagogue. Did I mention about it to you all? Pedagogue नाम का एक word है, pedagogue. Pedagogy means the body of learning through books. वो किसी ने वो word use किया. वो सुनने वाला येड़ा है. वो कभी he has not learned English. He conveniently thought it is a dog. मेरा कुत्ता बुलाया. Now this is what happens to people. So I am one of the reasons I'm using Hindi, Marathi, English and all that, because I want to ensure that you understand the way you understand. It's very important. Otherwise what happens is it is a havoc. तुम लोग अपना interpretation करेंगे, तुम लोग पूछता भी नहीं है. Many of you don't want to come and talk to me also. So many students are listening. 55 students are listening to me. उसमें से कुल मिला के 4-5 लोग chat box में interact करते. बाकी लोग पता नहीं what they're doing. Are you listening? Are you learning? Have you understood? What level you have understood? There is no two-way traffic of knowing whether you have really understood the subject. We are not sure. और आपका exam system भी ऐसा है. There is no written paper which comes to me, which I check and I give you feedback. वो भी नहीं है. See what I'm telling you all. This is a distance learning course. You have an opportunity to meet us. Come and meet us and interact. And what you cannot do in terms of feedback, you have a feedback with us when you are having these channels and all. ये channel दिया गया इसके लिए तुम लोगों को. Nobody uses it. The moment you enroll for this workshop, for this course, buy a cam and keep it. Cam is important. You're not doing any ganda camming. You're doing good camming only. Okay. So now what happens is the next two pages are talking. Two diagrams are there. The first one says, I really like Vision Tech. It has been an innovative leader for a long time. Okay. So these sentences are going from salience to causality to architecture to resolution. The interpretation is this way. Of whom? This is of Sally. This is of Sally. The first diagram is talking about Sally's interpretation, salience, causality, architecture, resolution. In the second diagram, you got both on either side. See, on the left hand side, Nietzsche, on the right hand side, top, what is coming down, you can see that is Bill's reality. Now, what they can do is they can take both the saliences, salience of Bill, salience of Sally, then they can talk to the customer. Keep asking more questions till all the three of you realize this is exactly what the customer meant. Is it important or not? People are talking. उसको मिला क्या? हाँ मिला. किधर मिला? उधर ही जब लास्ट टाइम मिला था. क्या आदमी है ना, येड़ा है ना? Two people are talking like this to each other. The third fellow is listening. And they are telling the third person, तेरे को मालूम नहीं वो कैसा है. So the third person says, whom are you talking about? तेरे को ये भी मालूम नहीं. And that fellow does not know what is going on. These are all lessons in communication. Rishikesh, why analysis correct of innovation management. You have to keep on asking questions to people. Otherwise, they won't give you proper answers. Okay. Mendonca Sharon Sunil. Hello, sir. Help me with the PPT link. Sorry, I just joined in. There's no PPT link. I'm just doing bug since 7 o'clock. Keep listening to me. Sharon, is it clear? Sharad Chandra Garud is writing there. We see people having less basic qualifications and knowledge, but they are in a top level management. How is it possible? Because they learn to be all whatever I'm talking. Creative. They can handle mess. Take a case of Dhirubhai Ambani. Dhirubhai Ambani is a classical example of an integrative manager. Do you know that? From where he has come where? Sharad Chandra, what is he trying to tell you? Simple thing तेरे को बोलता है. The qualification or knowledge alone is not enough. You must be able to put it into practice. What do you think? After doing your DLP, you're going to get a job, you're going to become big leaders or something? It will not happen till you put it into practice. Till you put it into practice. And all of you have got the brains to do it, but you don't have the guts to do it. You see the innovation that happens on the roads. You will not accept it because you're qualified. You've got a B degree behind you. You're studying Venkar. वो एक प्रकार का assumed arrogance है लोगों को. तेरी ये औकात, How can this youngster sitting next to me, who's helping me in this virtual class, उसको क्या मालूम है integrity के बारे में? I can think like that about him. Now क्या तुझे? हाँ? Uday is my colleague who's helping me out. Uday छोटा बच्चा है, उसको क्या मालूम है? If I think like this way, I'll not learn anything from Uday. Uday and I cannot work in harmony. Are you with me, all of you? Leadership practice is all about this, guys. Okay? By doing practice, we can convert knowledge into. You have to keep on challenging your limitation, Harshit. You have to keep on challenging yourself. मैं ये क्यों कर रहा हूँ? I give this exercise in the innovation workshop. I think I told you all also. How do you wear your shirt in the morning? Do you wear your right sleeve or the left sleeve? देखो, उसको change करो. How do you brush your teeth? Right hand में ऊपर का teeth को कि नीचे का teeth को, उसको reverse करो. Keep on challenging your daily habits. When you keep on challenging your daily habits, you become flexible. Actions will make your brain also flexible in thinking. वो reality है. और वो जितना करेगा ना, उसके बाद nothing will bother you. You can accept anything that comes and you'll be able to find solutions. I practice it every day. For so many years, ever since my childhood, I've done that. Are you with me? All of you? Are you understanding what I'm talking? So, ये chapter में, they're telling you how different people interpret differently. If one of you is a mechanical engineer coming from the plant, working in the production, and I am already a mechanical engineer with production experience at the back, when I talk, he'll say, "Arey sir, bolte barobar hai," because both of us are in the same plane. But if there's an advertising person listening to me, and I'm talking in mechanical engineering terms, oh, मेरे आदमी एड़ा है. They'll say, "This man is stupid. He's entitled because he's looking at it from his point of view." रहेगा, मैं stupid रहेगा, उसके लिए stupid है. Nothing wrong about it. उसका is his opinion. But if I'm affected by him, if I want to work with him, then I have to put it into multiple cells. Like what I told इसको बोला जब अपना कौन I was telling whom, sorry, I'm trying to look for your name. Like I told sometime to this क्या नाम है यार, ऋषिकेश को जो बोला वो. Thanks Samadhan. So I mean overall you guys are lucky to have a subject like this, because this subject, this innovation is telling you grow up. Don't put constraints in your life. It is important, it is okay to have your own choices. I prefer gulab jamun. I prefer strawberry ice cream. वो करो. Strawberry ice cream ही खाएगा. Gulab jamun ही खाएगा. I don't do this. I don't like Salman. I don't like this. I hate this person. Now these are all the things which place when you people are aligned not into this. Many youngsters I've seen very rigid. उनको rigid करने वाला उनका पैसा है. तुम लोग पैम्पर करते हैं पेरेंट्स. It must be flexible. जितना flexible उतना दुनिया को अच्छी तरह से जाएगा, एक्सप्लोर करेगा. Lots of things will happen. Harsh Goel, people normally refuse to adopt change. We know results will be better, but they are rigid. How to tackle that situation? Bring them to me. My training program करते हैं हर्षित, और मैं भी पैसा कमाएगा, उनको भी मैं करवाएगा. Simple बात है हर्षित. If you are rigid, come to me. तुम लोग 20, 20, 30 people come, I'll do a training for you. Total business बात करता हूँ अभी. Okay? ऐसा change नहीं कर सकते. You have to really take the first step. If you don't change, I'll change you. I'll back you. मेरा मेथड थोड़ा टफ है, लेकिन उसमें चेंजेस होता है. शिशुपाल, ऋषिकेश, best shortest way of doing what we learned from the laziest person. Classic example of integrative thinking of Bill Gates. Okay? Now remember one thing. If you think you're doing a lot of activity, activity is not work. Activity is not work. खोटा नखरा बोलते हैं ना, that is what it is. Activity is not work. You don't have to act busy. Do your work and then go away. Now this culture, it comes among all of you. That is the time you'll understand what is integrative. You've seen the Google workplace. Have you seen the pictures on the net? Google workplace. The Google workplace में क्या, people come whenever they want, they work and go. They can come in t-shirts, hoods में आएगा, किस में भी आके बैठ के जाते हैं. But their culture is such that they work innovatively, creatively, and they go. Controls are by the self, not by the management. We people deserve a danda from the top because we are not disciplined. When you know the lecture is at 7 o'clock, how many people come on time? You'll give all excuses. One person has just joined about 2 or 3 minutes back. I take it personally. I'm not being critical about you. I'm talking about the way we are. I mean, when the class was going on, PCP, how many students came late that day? If I keep a lecture at 9 o'clock, you'll come at 9:30. If I keep at 9:30, you'll come at 10. अब जब तक ये चलते रहेगा ना, innovative भूल जाओ, integrative भूल जाओ, and our city will stink. Because it is the way we are. That's what it is. Outside world is a reflection about who I am. Very simple. Why is it that Indians are doing well abroad? Because they are adapting very well to those changes. They do that. Abhi Sundar Pichai, he's the new hero, Indian who's heading an organization. Why is it happening? Only because we work hard elsewhere. India may take it for granted. We have Rahul Gandhi with us now. Usko hum log PM banane. Okay. Fine. So guys, this is what this chapter is all about. At the end of the chapter, there is something which I want to talk about, which is what is called as reconciling the irreconcilable. 3.4. Reconciling the irreconcilable. Reconcile का मतलब क्या है? 58, पेज नंबर 58. आसिफ, थैंक यू. Reconcile का मतलब क्या है? इसके साथ समझौता करो. Means accepting. Means allowing a go-between. There are certain things which appear to be absolutely unacceptable. Do you agree or not? ये मेरे से होगा नहीं. I cannot sing. This is irreconcilable for a person. By the way, 30th August, Sunday, we are running a karaoke session. Anybody interested, get in touch with me. You can enroll a full day singing. From morning till evening, it's in Dar. From 9:30 till 6, you'll be singing and having lunch and snacks and all that. So there's a cost for that. Anybody interested in singing, you can come. We do it every 3 months. Okay? So suppose a person is rigid in singing, irreconcilable. I cannot sing. Now, will that person ever think that he can sing? No. Through integrative thinking process, through various methods, that irreconcilable aspect of I can't sing can be made into reconcilable I can sing. I can't jump from this height. Impossible. मैं मर जाऊंगा. Bungee jumping. But they show you how you can do it. Don't they teach you? Now many things we think it is not possible. When you're pushed into it, you realize it is possible. I would say, why wait till you're pushed into it? उसके पहले ही खुद उसमें जाओ ना और सीखो ना. Adventure करो ना. What is wrong in that? Because people who do that, they are the ones who dare. They are the ones who dare. And when they dare na, they start opening up all different parts of their brain. They become more open. Right? So he is giving the example about Procter & Gamble bullet points. I have given this in the book. Go through it. Second example given in page number next 59 mein dekhega how Red Hat found profits in free software. All these are explained. Okay. In detail it is given in the next few pages. Okay. And then in the end of this chapter, that is page number 82, below summary 3.6. 82 is my page. A Diana's delay turns into a total ethnic experience. This small part has been written there. And another integrative thinking which we come across in the 65. Yo, how many of you have been to Chokidani? Chokidani is why? It's Rajasthani village is recreated and you go and eat there. Is Chokidani integrative thinking or not? So that's what has been put with the 3 points I've shown you. So this is all around us. हमारे आसपास में है. Okay. There is also one thing which I want to talk about, which I missed out. It is called as this particular person called page number 79. I wanted to go for. It is titled as the machine that ate Toronto. The buzz machine that ate Toronto. I need to explain this case study to you. The buzz machine that ate Toronto. देखो किधर है? It is coming under the question answers. How could Red Hat establish itself that covered? Page 62. Snehal, thank you. Page 62. Now this case I need to explain before I close the day. Now this is about a gentleman called Piers Handling. Underline that name. It's all important for your exams. Piers Handling, he joined the staff of an international organization, international film festival body called as TIFF, Toronto International Film Festival, based in Canada. Okay. Now he worked in different roles, and finally he was appointed as a TIFF director to make TIFF. What is TIFF? International film festivals are held. All of you know about film festivals? Best movies are picked up. They are viewed by critics, and then they acclaim that this movie is the best, this is the best for direction, best actor, etc., etc. Apna Filmfare Awards, all these are basically film festivals. Okay? So International Film Festival mein, international films are brought in. They are viewed by experts in a jury. I mean, when experts view a movie, they'll view it technically. Acting, they know A to Z about, they view technically about the actor, technically about the music, everything will be technical. But tell me one thing, in your experience, do these international film festival award movies, they click in the box office, do they make money? They don't. It's common knowledge. Take a case of, ask Kaushiki, she'll tell you, Satyajit Ray films. Satyajit Ray ka films jo hai, अच्छे films hai. You know, Pathar Panchali and all, they are not box office hits. Kolkata mein chale, wo bhi thoda chalta hai, intellectuals will watch it. Now, is it important for us to allow, is it important for us to spread this message of good films to the masses or not? Answer is yes. So what Piers Handling did was, he said, let the films not be viewed only by the jury, let it also be viewed by the public. So public पे हम लोग बुलाएंगे और सब मिलके सब लोग, everybody will give a rating. At the end of the day, however good a movie I would have taken, if it doesn't click in the box office, I'm still, people have not got my message. Majority of the people have not got my message, and I don't make money. So now point is how to integrate both these things. Good movies, many people should see. Whatever many people see is always box office masala, hero number one and all that. Good movies, usually seen by only few people, does not create an impact on the masses. So he came out with this particular suggestion. Let them come together, let both of them see it, and then give the ratings. And then this became a fantastic way of ensuring that we have technically good movies which is accepted by majority of the people, and then it is put into the market. When viewers also see a movie and viewers start saying this movie is good, they affect other viewers who are in the theaters. Do you agree or not? If I have seen the movie, Uday has seen the movie, I come and tell you, "Jaake dekho yaar, ye bahut acha hai." Then this is, I'm not just for the filmy part of it, but from a technical point of it, when I tell you, then more and more people will start seeing the technical part of the movies also. Today, if you see, most of the films are coming with technical excellence also. I'm not talking about only photography. There are so many things which some of you may not be seeing. See, Veer Zara, for example, one movie which I saw, Veer Zara. It has got technical excellence in every department of the movie. The acting part of it, the editing part of it, the production values, etc. It's a brilliantly made movie. Okay? Now, box office, it did hit. The songs were very good. So, I'm just giving examples about how today we are mixing and matching. Right? Now, today, the same thing is coming in a different way. We have these so-called reality shows. Saregama, Indian Idol. एक लड़का ने तो लड़कियां के गाया, फिर बाद बोले मेरे को ये देना. Then we all people have got a lot of time to waste and money to waste. They'll be sending SMS. I want to know actor number 07, actor number so and so, dancer number so and so. ऐसा होता है कि नहीं है? Voting. अभी voting में mobile companies make huge money. You people waste your money because you all are all intoxicated with that. and then everybody lives happily ever after. अभी वो really होता है कि मालूम नहीं, उसके ऊपर भी बहुत चक्कर है, I've heard, because reality shows are not really real, according to me. बहुत manipulation चलता है. I'm hearing from people, I really don't value it. कभी एक आध मैं देखता हूँ छोड़ देता है. There are people who sit glued to the TV. I don't कौन बनेगा, I don't fix हो गया, according to me. Everything is scripted. Yes, Nehal. Okay. So this story about EIFF, wherein it became a very big hit when both the people, critics of the jury and the people who are viewing the movie, they were brought together and they went through the evaluation of the films. Okay. So that ends this chapter number 3, and with this, the integrative management is also ending for you as a subject for VC for the midterm. Okay. And I can assure you one thing, this is an excellent subject. All of you will score in this, because the book I have written, teaching the subject, I have connected the PCP, and in the PCP I can tell you most of the students have observed it. About you people who have heard me today, I don't know, but I think this paper will be very, you have absorbed the content and the spirit of what I have spoken. Rishikesh is writing, people like to see their dreams or wish lists coming on screens, but for the real issues of life, they have assumptions or way of handling issues and criticize them. Absolutely true. Ashish Kadam, we have 2 workshops on 22nd and 23rd August. But the thing is that the workshop name are written in the section of current student is 1, financial planning, July 15, and 2nd is mastering interviewing, July 15. So my question is this workshop are only for July batch or anyone can attend? Ashish Kadam, Vasudev, हे सगळे मी हँडल नाही करतो. तुम्हाला कॉलेजला भावेश म्हणून, भावेश नावाचे एक आपले ते मॅनेजर, त्यांना तुम्ही विचारा. दिस इज बियॉन्ड माय स्कोप. ओके आशीष, थैंक्स फॉर सच अ डिटेल्ड क्वेश्चन, बट दीज एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव क्वेश्चन के ऊपर मैं अंगूठा छापे, मुझे कुछ मालूम नहीं है क्या अंदर चल रहा है. ओके फ्रेंड्स, अजून कोणाला काय विचारायचं आहे? येस कौशिकी, आई सेंड कौशिकी, सेंड मी मेसेज ऑन माय मोबाइल, देन आई सेंड यू द लिंक and give it, pass it to the whole class. Rishikesh, some will definitely add value to our lives. Thanks for your efforts. Kumar Swarup, thank you. Happy Independence Day for all lecturers. Blah, 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 blah. Sir, add me in the Facebook. I am add you in the Facebook if you ask me for a friendship request. Okay, fine. Okay, no question. Everybody saying thank you. सब लोग बोलते हैं, sir, photo, my foot है. चलो, bye, good night.